Hi, Father Rob Longbottom here, and welcome to St. Paul's Chapel. We're coming to you live, my daughter Penny and I, from our garage. And today we're going to be talking about God made us strong. And yes, she did. And Penny's going to be our hero today because what she's going to do is I'm going to challenge her to, let's take a look, guys, to see if she can lift up this camper. It is, oh my goodness, it's pretty heavy. And so, Penny, why don't you get in position just like I taught you? And, yeah, right there, and see if you can lift up this camper. Are you ready? Try as hard as you can.
I can't.
Oh, you can't. I know. So often we believe and we know that God made us strong, but sometimes we forget that He didn't make us strong in and of ourselves, but He made us strong in Him. And so what I need you to do this time, Penny, instead of relying on your own strength, let's rely on God's strength to help you lift this up. And so instead of doing it with your own strength, let's say, God, make me strong, and then try. Ready?
God, make me strong.
Do it. Oh my goodness! Oh, she's totally lifting it off the ground. Look at that. That's amazing. God made her strong. And now we're about to go take a look at the Bible story of Gideon to learn a little bit more about what it means that God made us strong. Wow, Penny. You are amazing out there. Are you tired?
Nope.
You're not? How did you have all that strength to lift up that entire camper?
God help me so I'm not tired or exhausted.
Oh my goodness. Guys, today we're talking about God made us strong. Now, one of the things that I want you guys to remember about God making us strong is not about the fact that we have strength in and of ourselves.
Nope, it's not.
We have strength because God's strength is in us. And today, that's right. And Penny wasn't able to lift up that camper on her own. She had to have God's strength with her.
Yep.
There's a story in the Bible that comes from the book of Judges. This is a story about a man named Gideon. And Gideon was kind of like a farmer, right, Penny?
Yeah, kind of.
He was a farmer, and he didn't live in the big cities. In fact, his tribe, his group of people, were the smallest and weakest in all of Israel. And one day, the angel of God said, "Hey, Gideon, I know that you're from the weakest tribe in all of Israel, but I'm going to use you to defeat the enemies of Israel."
Yeah,
this group called the Midianites.
Yeah.
They were threatening Israel, and they had 20,000 troops. They were going to come down and just destroy the land.
I believe in Gideon.
And Gideon was God's choice to lead his armies, the armies of Israel's against him. But Gideon said, "God," this is exactly what he said. He said, "Lord, how can I save Israel? My clan's the weakest in Manasseh, and I'm the least in my family." And the Lord answered, what did the Lord say to Gideon, Penny? He said, "Don't worry."
You can be strong with me.
Yeah, he said, "Don't worry. I got you covered."
Yeah, I got you covered, bro.
I got you covered, bro. That's right. Now, he said, "I'm going to be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites." And you know what Gideon said to God, Penny?
I don't believe you.
That's exactly right. He said, "I don't believe you. You're going to have to give me a sign that you're going to be with me, that you're going to do this. So I want you to do something for me, God." Hey, Penny, do you know what this is?
A fleece.
It's a fleece. Each of our kids gets one of these when they're born from our family. Because
AKA my fuzzy rug.
your fuzzy rug. And so it's this kind of a sign in our family because Amy, my wife, her mommy's parents are ranchers. And it's just something all the kids in the family get. Well, Gideon had one of these. And he said, "Hey, God, I'm going to lay this on the ground." Kind of like here in Visalia during the winter. He said, "I'm going to lay it on the ground. And next morning, what I want you to do to show me that you are actually telling me to do this, I want the ground to be all wet, but the fleece to be dry." And God said, "I got you covered, bro."
Wait, didn't he say the fleece dry first? The fleece wet first and then?
That's right. He said, "I want everything, the ground to be dry, but the fleece to be wet." And God still said, what did he say? I got
you covered, bro.
And so he laid it out, and the next morning, it's exactly as he said. The ground was dry, but the fleece was wet. And Gideon said,
the fleece was soaking wet, and the ground was dry as a desert.
That's right. And Gideon said, "God, that's amazing. You did it. But I'm still not so sure. How about this time? We're going to lay out a fleece, and this time the ground's gonna be wet and the fleece is gonna be dry. And God's like, okay, what did he say, Penny?
Fine, I got you covered, bro.
That's right. And so the next morning they woke up and it's exactly as they said.
Can I say?
What?
The fleece was as dry as a desert, and the ground was as wet as it could be as after a tsunami.
It was exactly that way. So finally Gideon said, okay, God, I trust you. I believe in you. You're going to send me. And so somehow, some way, the king of Israel said, yes, we believe that God is sending you. And so he gave Gideon 32,000 warriors to go up against the Midianites. There was no way the Midianites could ever defeat 32,000 warriors. And then God came back to Gideon and he told him something else that kind of Gideon was like, what? He said, instead of taking 32,000 warriors, I want you to take a few less.
Yeah,
And then he's like, maybe 30,000? And God said, no.
Nah.
Then he said, 20,000? God said,
Nah.
then he said, 10,000? God still went,
Nah.
and then he said, 3,000? And God still said,
Nah.
God said, I want you to take 300. That's it. To go against all those Midianites. And Gideon said, God, if you've called me to this, why? We're just going to get slaughtered. There's no way we have the strength to defeat the Midianites with 300. And God said something to Gideon.
Well, not if you don't have God, but if you have God, you can.
That's exactly right.
Works.
And God also wanted Gideon to know that this battle wasn't Gideon's, it was God's.
Yeah.
And that God was going to take the credit for winning. So he needed Gideon and the Israel to know that when they won with only 300, that God was going to give God glory because it was God who did it. And so guess what? The battle happened.
Gideon lost?
No.
Gideon won.
Israel won with such a small amount of people. You see, when we talk about God making us strong, it doesn't mean he makes us the mightiest or the strongest or even the fastest. What he says is that we are strong when we trust in him. That's the kind of strength that we're talking about here. When God makes us strong, he's made us to trust in him and to trust in his strength and not to always rely on our own. Because sometimes we are really strong. We are really fast. We're really good at things. Yeah. And God wants us to know that he gets the credit for all of it. Yep. And that it's his strength that defines
all as well. He chose us to be like this.
That's right. So I want all of you in your chapel today or this week to learn a bit more about what it means to be strong, what it means for God to make us strong, and how to be strong in God. Thank you for Penny for helping us with this video today. You are amazing. And guys, we are going to go back at the end of the videos to have a joke of the day. So ready, Penny? The joke of the day.
Hi, so what do you call a fish with no legs? A fish. Yep, that's it.